right, cool. Let's go ahead and run this bitch, I guess.
Baby.
Oh man, I got a lot to talk to you about, man. I'm ready.
Fuck yeah.
I'm excited, dude. You're a super high energy dude, and I love getting people like you on this podcast.
Thanks, man.
It helps me a lot.
I was happy to kick it at Barnes Talk the other day because I didn't know anything about going into that event. I knew that Sunday Drives had played. I knew that Noah had played before, but to go there and to feel like, okay, this is a representation of our scene and what it takes for individuals to curate that kind of musical event rather than letting the venues do it, you know?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's someone's back fucking yard.
Yeah, man.
Not only is it it was for a good fucking cause.
Yeah,
for
man. Mitch's mission, I believe.
Yeah. Mitch's mission.
Yeah.
Which he was 20 years old when he died of cancer. That sucks, man. And but it's for kids to go to camp.
That's super cool.
You know, I mean, it's just and that's awesome. And I was at another event just a few 2 weeks prior doing the same thing, similar, doing interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was Rock the Vineyard, which that was to showcase young musicians, to funnel money so that they could learn how to play fucking music. And
that's awesome.
The first half of it was just kids bing, 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 learning Mary Had a Little Lamb, and that was the first half of the show. And then it showed basically 20 years of progression from the beginner stage of learning your first song to these are rock stars that have been doing it for 20 years professionally now.
That's interesting, man.
It's a super cool perspective, man. It was awesome to do, but it's fun. It's just that stuff's great to do. Okay, you want to do my thing? All right. Let's start this bitch. You can keep that.
I'm ready to go, baby.
Ready, Will? Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1, action.
You talking to me? I'm talking to you. And this is Talking to You. And I got Matt Waters in the house.
What's up, baby? I've been excited to talk to you about talking to you,
Dude,
man, because I knew that we'd be talking, baby.
Me too, man. I love it.
Good things.
First time I met you, dude, the first sentence you said to me was dude, I love your program. And that fucking hits me to the core. I love when people just talk to me about what I'm trying to do. Obviously, I mean, it's just with your music, people talking to you, to your music, talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's when someone comes up and you finally feel affirmed by the way that we all try to push out content.
Yeah.
The algorithms are content. The internet's complicated. It's hard to decide where these things are going to show up. But when they show up in a place where it engages and causes collaboration, that's where you start to realize there is true power in this, and there's real benefit. Because when you're posting that stuff at 1:30 a.m. and you've been working on it since 2 p.m., it's
I
don't even know
watch it.
I don't even know if I want power anymore. I think I want to live remote.
Dude, for real. And it's a cool thing because what you just said, it creates collaborative efforts. And I think that that's what it does the most, especially people getting started and stuff. As soon as you start putting art out, the first people that are gonna like your art is other artists.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And those people start to like it, and then they'll spread it to their groups of friends or their followings or crowd or whatever. And then those people will be like, oh, I like that. And then they'll sit one by one, they'll pop over from different groups, and you'll create your own. You create your own communities within bigger communities, and it's super cool, man.
And like we were saying before, it's there's dynamics to a show starting. If you go back to I watch Rogan because I enjoy podcasts and I like seeing people's formats for it. So in something like that, you go back to the original episodes, they're grainy, the audio quality is shit, but there's some love to that. And as a content creator, when I watch your stuff, it's I can see down to the little details. Okay, they're shooting at 30 frames. It's a clean shot. You know, you're pushing for 4K kind of video. You're looking for really nice audio.
But filming in 1080.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
going for that high def.
Yeah.
And we learned how to play with our camera slowly because the first few episodes didn't look that good. We were figuring out which camera to use where, how to position them, and we finally kind of figured it out. And we're still going to continue to build. That's what everybody should do with everything they do.
And it makes content endearing when you see people pushing for small, minute aspects that make huge differences in the way that you consume it.
Yeah.
Whether it's visually, it's stimulating enough to make me click play and get that first minute in there.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
And because I thought about that when you did come to me and speak to me about watching the program and stuff. I had a conversation with Josh later on. Matt probably hasn't watched a full episode, but he's seen at least a minute. Yeah. Enough to like it, to conversate to me about it.
Yeah.
And that's what a point was made too, is that all the little things you do to promote yourself and push your content and your art, someone's going to see it.
For sure.
And the more you do it, the more people are going to see it.
Yeah.
You stay in their face until they can't ignore you anymore, basically.
Yeah. And that's like, in a lovable way, you need to be persistent and a little bit obtrusive. Like that's how you make new markets, whether it's for products or for entertainment. You need to break through in a very literal basis. And like, you can look at Instagram Insights and Facebook Insights, and you start to look at the retention in a video. Like, those first 10 seconds were really popping until I lost 90% of my audience.
Exactly.
And it breaks your heart sometimes. But when you meet the people that do watch every episode, start to finish, you're like, okay, that's the momentum I need to do another 15 minutes, another 20 minutes, because it's 5 hours of work for each minute that you do. It's like, it's ridiculous.
And that's something, dude, like, so we're talking about art and stuff. Let's talk about your art, man. So you are a musician, you play solo and with a band.
Yep.
You do it all, man. So, and you make your own media for the most part. Do you get some help, I assume, right? With the more bigger productions and stuff?
For sure. There's a couple of videographers in my life that are wonderful producers and directors and whatnot. There's a small team of people that like I'll outsource some editing to, especially when we're touring a lot.
Yeah.
It's impossible for me to compile and digest that content.
Yeah.
So I sent someone else, and I also feel like, there's certain things I've learned in the last year as someone that really has tried to go down to the roots of how my art becomes part of myself is by really starting it from the ground and taking it to that finish line.
Yeah.
So if
I'm being yourself in the whole process, because that's something that seems you're very genuine with your whole like experience that you bring with video, the show. It's all the same. It's very consistent.
I try to be in my own world in a positive way that's inclusive for someone to step into it. But if I try to fabricate what I thought you would want to be experiencing, we're gonna end up with a half-assed version of what you kind of wanted.
Yeah, true, very true.
But it's saying like, editing your own video is like editing your own vocal takes. You can't listen to yourself on an objective medium and still have an idea of what you just did in the booth or what you just did on video. So sometimes it's better to get it out of your hands and send it to someone else and be like, we pull the funny shit out of this, because sometimes I feel like a dork listening to those jokes that I had to say 3 times to get right. But like, I'm going to do it,
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And so with your music, you just released a new song.
Yeah, I just put out my first single that's totally self-produced.
So self-produced single.
Yes.
Again, right into that line of doing your own thing, man.
Yeah, man. And that's been an incredible experience, because like, I've worked with producers and I've worked in studios since I was like 14. I had really supportive parents.
So you're experienced within the field. That's awesome.
Man, so I'm
how
25.
Old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, same. 25.
That's awesome, man.
I actually started making videos and like doing like music when I was around the same age. So I have a similar line of experience.
Yeah, and I think not many people find themselves staying on the trajectory that they chose for themselves at a young age.
I fell off a few times, but like I got real hard into it about 4 or 5 years ago.
And do you feel like, as someone that's dabbled in different mediums, it's like cross-training as an athlete? When you sit behind here as a video producer, you think about the music you've created and why those kind of things need to be cohesive, and they have to have these intersectional qualities that allow you to... Exactly. Layers that are...
like an onion.
Exactly, man. You got to get peeling if you want to cry, and I want to cry.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like producing your own stuff, I'm going into this second decade of working on this stuff and finding out who I am as an artist. So to cut people out of the equation and realize all the heavy lifting that's gone on for me, one, gave me a better appreciation for the craft. It gave me some rough and rugged hours where I learned a lot about myself. And it also brought me to an endpoint that sounds more like me. Yeah. And you don't know what you sound like or what you look like until you find yourself manically digging in there and kind of just spitting it on a screen. Yeah, totally, man. And that's what it's really about, too, is just kind of just letting yourself find it. Like, because you got to do it first. Yeah. First of all, you just have to do it, because you're going to suck at it at first. Yeah. You're going to have to just dig in, find out what you're good at in it in the beginning, take those elements and then build on them until you become better at the rest. And then you'll find yourself doing so many things you never thought would be in your capabilities. Yeah. I mean, that's where I am. I mean, I could like put the list together. I mean, I do this. I do this podcast. Everything you see about it besides Caden cameramanning. Yeah.
everything is me, you know, from the editing to the audio to sitting here writing down what to ask you. And then I have the movies I do short films, and we're working on a film. It's not a full length, but it's a film, so it's longer. Then we have just constant services for people, just like making videos, art, you know. So it's and years ago, all I did was direct a show. I just came in, set up the set, kind of wrote down things for people to say, and then that was it. Yeah. And now I'm kind of like doing that plus everything else plus other stuff on the side.
Yeah. But I think like you were saying,
baby steps.
Yeah, for sure. And to suck at new things is the best thing we can all do for ourselves. It's like whether I'm sitting down at a drum set and realizing that I'm just dog shit on a drum set, or I'm trying to climb a rock wall and I'm realizing now the finger strength for this and I'm probably falling today.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Those moments and being around people that take those kind of steps helps you to expand your capacity from a director to someone that is probably acting in some of these films and producing. It's like,
exactly,
you know, the search of art is not to find out what you're doing. It's like it's to find out who you are within that, and there's something beautifully aimless about that search. Like you can't decide, you just need to stay on the path.
Just go. Yeah. And that's also with it, like even when you're so far, you're 10 years in it, you're still just doing it. Yeah. That's the core of it all. Yeah. So we talked about your new single, Colorful was the name of the song. It's on Spotify, right? Is so you're everywhere and anywhere, right?
Well, so we're touring a lot right now, and like we were touring before that material came out because, you know, the last year and a half was very odd, but it was a really refreshing time in my life, and I feel grateful that I had the space to work throughout the pandemic. Yeah. So I had been self-producing for the first time. I finished 4 songs. I said, okay, now we need to get back on the road. So we're in front of people. We're gaining new followers and whatnot. But like, I don't like gaining followers by paying for Facebook ads. I want to meet someone. I want to follow them. I want to talk to them. Yeah. Because that's the way that you acquire reach, by actually being present with people. And there's something about the screen that prevents that.
Showing up, man. You got to show up.
In the same way that like, I've watched your show before. I probably wouldn't watch a full episode until I met you. But now it's like, okay, because now I know
you get me. Yeah.
And now I want to watch Josh's episode, or I want to watch something with like any of these guys that I do know very personally. Yeah. It's humans coming across on a medium that's so inhuman at times.
Yeah, and it is, man. And it's like we're putting ourselves out there to be like let known to the world. Yeah. Like a lot of our personalities just out on the page, just like totally open. And that's really what's the biggest part of it, man, is like being genuine with yourself. Because like, dude, you can look back into time with like film, with like entertainment, like everything was falsified. Everything was like everybody's image was always brought up to this like almost godlike behavior, when like that's not how it is at all, man. Yeah. People are genuine. People have like feelings. People have like, you know, down moments, up moments, and that's what's starting to really hit the core of like media, I think, is like genuine people. Yeah. And, like appreciation for that. And
even the people that are good at it can raise the awareness and object to some of the falsities of this weird online medium that we all participate and throw shit at. Like one of my favorite guitar players I follow on Instagram is a guy named Bryant. This is a guy that kills it on Patreon. He opens up for AC/DC. Wow. And it's like he lives in Nashville. He's just a badass producer and a badass player. But yesterday he just puts up a very human post saying like, most of the time I sit in an airport pissed off that I got another layover and I'm struggling to get to my gig and I'm tired and I want to be home with my wife. And it's like, it's shit like that where at the top of your game, if you talk to that person, you know, 1-to-1, they would tell you like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for this. Yeah. So there's something about, you know, putting your foot to the floor and just doing it as individuals and encouraging people to do that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And that's what I try to do with this. Like this is like a part of that. Like I always found myself like not as involved as I wanted to be because I live far out. Yeah,
totally, man. When I was on the way out here, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
We're way out here. And but when I like that, I do show up though, but this is a way to showcase the things that I appreciate. Hey, dude, I see your stuff. I like your stuff. Come talk to me. Totally. And also, it builds like those more genuine, like interlinked relations. Like I just met you. one time.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your stuff, my stuff.
Shared a bottle of wine.
And then you're like, yeah, dude, I'll come on the show. And then, so this right here, this exact moment we're having right now.
Yeah.
We're building a friendship, man.
Yeah.
This is what this is. And like, people may see this and think that we're just sitting here having an interview conversation, but that's not what this is every single time. Sometimes it is that. Sometimes I'm just asking people questions and it feels less genuine. But some people just connect, man. And that's what my belief is like, when I bring people to sit in front of me and actually like have a conversation and like dig in with me to a certain point, that builds that real relation that I've always wanted with people, you know?
Yeah. And it'll keep you sane when you do the content side of it. Cause like, you know, if the content side of it bothers you, the production of it, the cleaning and the tending to that kind of a thing bothers you, the work itself needs to be worth it and fulfilling enough.
Yeah.
And so when I walk off a stage, you know, I want to feel like I've given it everything, that I've dripped every last piece of sweat out of me, and I feel exhausted at the end of the day. Because when I go back and watch the footage of it, I want to feel like everything I could fucking give to that is on film.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
And so you actually do that with your Waters Weekly way.
Yeah.
So you recap all your stuff, and it feels like almost like a podcast kind of style formatting. You're just very chill. You're playing your music in the background.
Totally.
You're watching videos from the set. You're explaining, hey, so I had this experience with these people here.
Yeah.
Shout out to those people that were rocking out with us, by the way.
For sure.
Just a super genuine thing to do, man. Like, it's not like a, hey, so here's my new stuff. This is like you're trying to sell. No, you're like, dude, this is me having a good time. This is my art. This is my life. And that's fucking awesome, man.
And sometimes it needs that extra layer of personality where it's like, you can listen to my songs all day. You can watch my shows all day. But until I don't get to have the vehicle, the guitar, and my stage, you know, it's a different conversation. And there's 100%. Weirdness and tension and vulnerability in that.
Yeah.
But doing that allows me to connect to people that are, like, I got distant cousins that live on the West Coast, and maybe I go and play the West Coast every 2 years.
They get to see and talk to you, basically.
Yeah, and in the meantime, like, they don't get to know me unless I do that kind of thing. But when I see my Aunt Dottie, I squeeze that woman because she's like, I've been watching. I'm like, thank God, I didn't think anyone was.
And that reassures you, too, when you have those conversations with people that are like, oh, hey, I am watching. I'm keeping up. I love what you're doing. You know, it inspires me to do stuff. That's the biggest like take from me, like, because like I'm not like portraying a talent, you know what I mean? I'm sitting people down and talking to them about their talents, you know, and like that's what it is. It's the reinsurance of like, people will talk to me about like, dude, I love what you do. I watch certain episodes. Those episodes bring me up because of like the inspiring shit you guys talk about.
Yeah.
Or they, you know, just like to watch the artist that comes on.
Yeah.
And that brings them up, you know, just to hearing people have a genuine conversation instead of just listening to their art.
For sure.
It's fucking cool, man.
It's really cool. It's special that, like, you know, one thing that I've personally struggled with in the last couple of years, like, I just graduated from Xavier. I got a degree in marketing because I came up in a family where it was
I can tell.
it valued a college degree, and I was like, I'll do that, but I don't want to go to music school and be told what I'm supposed to say and feel through my instrument.
Abstract,
Yeah, and like, I thought about going to Nashville then, but as I graduated, it was like, do I want to be in a different city where I can learn to succeed on their terms, or do I want to be in my city and do this exactly?
Yeah.
In a way that I feel like I'm bringing the things that I want home for the people that will come after me. Because as someone that tries to wake up and feel grateful every day, I can admit that I stand on the shoulders of giants. Whether that's my musical mentors, whether it's incredible parents, whether it's mean siblings that work hard and kicked my ass growing up so I could be a better person.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And it takes, you know, you're talking about talent and tenacity. That's what builds character. But if you only have raw talent, you know, we're not going anywhere. And there's a lot of great cases of that.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, I say that. I talk about that all the time, man. Like, you can have raw talent, but unless you have like dedication, drive, and like you're super motivated to achieve goals, you're not gonna do any. You're gonna hit a bar.
Yeah, and plateaus are a weird thing that, like, you know, I've been taking some more time to interact with younger players because, so last week I was playing Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Yeah.
My first gig as a kid was on that island where my dad had been paying for guitar lessons for me for a couple of years, and I'm one of those kids that doesn't put it down. It's my favorite shit in the world is playing the guitar.
I can tell you picked mine up as soon as you got in here.
It's like that's a twitch for some people in this world, man, and I'm one of them. I like those 6 strings, and I'll take 4 if I got 4. But
fuck yeah.
My dad went and tipped a guy for me to play one song with him. This guy's name is Dean St. Hilaire. He's from Grenada, and he played reggae and calypso.
Oh.
My background was so far from anything feel-good reggae and calypso.
But you got up there.
But exactly. I had a good dad that was like, I don't give a fuck if you want to do it or you don't want to do it. Like, I gave that guy $20 for you to go play. Like, get up there.
Yeah.
So, like, I got up there, and this guy that had no other reason besides the kindness in his heart said, sit back a little bit more. Get more in that pocket.
Relax.
Stay for another song. Keep playing.
That's awesome.
Take a lead.
Those guys. So your dad obviously was identifying a lesson to learn with that moment. But not only did your dad set that up, which is totally his job.
Yeah.
But that guy that was playing music
totally
decided, hey kid, no big deal. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, wait, stick around.
And that
get more than what you thought.
Yeah.
Here's more for you to learn.
For sure, man. And that takes a gentle and willing soul that enjoys watching people learn.
Yeah.
Because he's still a student in his own right.
Yes.
10 years later, I call that guy a couple times a year. I play with him a couple of times a year.
No
and I'm still
shit.
learning. And there's
That's
another
beautiful, dude.
Yeah, and so another guy that I learned from down there, his name was Tommy, and he's like an acoustic guitar player gone shredder, like a mean guitar player. Tommy how to do all the looping stuff that I still use for my show today. And he came to our tour date in Hilton Head and sat in with the band, and we just spent some time together, man. It's like the medium of music is that in which you can
in between.
Yeah, exactly. You can take someone by the hand who is a lifetime behind you and give them the riser to start stepping up and making that growth and chipping away at an art form.
100%, man. And that's exactly inevitably what I am trying to do too.
Yeah.
Cause I am learning, but I do have knowledge in what I do.
Yeah.
And there's people that are, I consider protege style, that are learning and wanting to learn it and coming up. And so I'm just like, dude, take it.
Yeah.
Here it is. And also, but I can't give it to you.
Yeah.
You have to earn it.
Totally.
You have to run at that shit like it's yours.
Yeah.
Because it's not mine. It's all of ours.
Yeah.
This knowledge and skill and talent, it's everybody's, man. Yeah. And you can learn it. And that's what it's about to me, at least.
For sure. And you provide resources as a teacher. We all remember.
Yeah.
You go through.
That's good metaphors, man.
For sure. Well, grade school and high school, we all remember the 2 teachers that made a huge fucking difference. And sometimes you got to run through teachers to do that. There's a reason they give you a new one every year because you're trying that out, just trying to reach the most human part of yourself, which is this kind of crazed and you want to get out of this. This realm, this body that holds you back and feels so finite, where you were born, the job that you might have to get by in life. It's like the artistic side in all of us needs to be crazed and so unwilling.
Manic, bro.
Exactly.
It's gotta be manic. You gotta wake up in the morning and go, I'm gonna start doing this.
Exactly. And so unwilling to put it aside. It needs to lock you in. And when you see that in a younger person, or you see it in any age of a person who wants that, as a participant in it, to give those gifts reinvigorates you. It is this communal fuel. Yeah. It's so cyclical the way that inspiration works.
Dude, it really is too. It's a give and take thing, just in everything in society, man. The concept of money, you got to give a little money to make a little money.
That's for sure.
You got to give a little bit of your heart to give someone else's heart.
Yeah.
You gotta give your knowledge to gain knowledge. You know, because open dialogue and open, like we're talking about being open and with yourself and others is the best way to achieve that.
Yeah.
And
man, I think you hit the nail on the head with that. It's just. You can spend a lifetime doing this and feel like you got nowhere until you start to talk to the people that are around you.
Yeah.
And then you realize you got them somewhere and they got you somewhere. And if we can walk through this life as participants and present members of each other's worlds, you have done your part in spinning this thing.
Yeah. 100%, dude. 100%. And so I like your like mindset and mentality and all this. I noticed like that you like to meditate and, and to take extra steps into trying to find this like aura that you bring out. So what kind of got you into that like findings and learning about those like I don't know much about it. I've wanted to learn about meditation, like visualization. What's the other thing, Caden, that I talk about? Manifest destiny, breathing. You know, I've heard and been interested in these things. I'm a huge fan of like mixed martial arts, so they roam in that field all the time because you need a lot of tenacity and because there's so much pressure on you getting into those situations. Yeah,
that's such a different ballpark, but again, it's
same
like,
mindset though.
It seems it's so intrinsic, and you're so involved in the self at that point. So I'm not one to sit down and meditate. I got into that journey through yoga, and I had taken a few classes growing up, enough to realize that it's something I can do when I want to. Yep. And at the beginning of the pandemic, there's no gyms or anything, and I was like, I want to recalibrate the body that I'm living in, because there's something else to be said that you can do a lot of things in this world. This is the vehicle that you've been gifted. Most of us don't get through life with the original parts, so you got to get exactly. So you got to take care of it as you go. You got to be respectful that you can't go at a pace that this won't allow you to. Yeah. And I was feeling a lot of tension that I probably had manifested within myself, and it was affecting my sleep schedule and my personal life and things like that, especially as having an art that's very manual. I carry my shit in every night and I carry it out.
It's very physical work, man.
Exactly. And I try to put myself through it. But at the end of the day, I needed something to alleviate some of that tension. So I went to YouTube, where, you know, what a great gift that we've grown up with to be able to learn anything and everything you could ever want.
Everything, man.
So I started following a practitioner I really liked for yoga. And at the end of all these practices, you go into, you know, they call it corpse pose, and there's many names for it. But, well, let me backtrack a little bit there. Yeah. One thing that I've learned from this that I think applies to a lot of life is a muscle's health is defined by its ability to contract and relax. Yeah. You need to be able to go to 110% to 0 so that you can have that balance in life. So I like this idea of having this very physical workout where I pushed myself, and at the end, I'm trying to give up any and all thoughts that I might have about it. Yeah. To let the mind just flow like it will, and I stop catching these things. And in that, I try to let those moments guide my practice and be my intention in the practice. And I started to share that as a personal effort of being vulnerable with myself and being uninhibited in the medium of like Instagram and Facebook. Like I don't care what I need to do for my career. If I'm going to participate in these platforms, I want to participate as a person, not just an artist. Fuck yeah. So letting people in on that has brought in so many yogic practitioners into my life that I've learned great things from. These are friends now that I talk to about my practice, that come to shows, and we talk about what's going on in theirs.
Well, yeah, I just asked you about
exactly,
it.
Man.
I see it, you know, and that's something that like we were talking about. Like you just are completely open, and I've thought about it because I work out. I don't do yoga or like do the relaxing, which I've came into a realization I need to do that. Yeah, because that's part of it. But I've been working out. I got myself back into shape. I weighed like 190 in 2020, and now I'm down to like 158, man. And
that's like, impressive, man.
That's what it is, man. It's all that dedication. But like I have those I don't like I'll do like a hard day, and then I'll just do my normal brain work, you know. I don't have to be super active and stuff like that, but finding that balance, man, in your mental state and in your body, I think is the biggest help, like to progress, like all the other things we're talking about with like trying to be an artist or trying to have these goals and keep on them. For sure. Like, you know, I don't believe in deadlines per se, but I do believe in the perfect end. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what I aim for with it, no matter how long it takes, as long as it comes to the point that I want it to be at. You know what I mean? And I get the same vibe from you, man. I really do.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you. And I think, speaking of working out, like someone that takes on the goal of refining themselves, you find yourself in a place of discomfort where it seems like the whole world right now is saying, I'm not happy with me. And you can change other people's perception of you by asking for that, but the only way you change your perception of yourself is by elevating to those kind of dire needs to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whether you're going for a run or you're lifting weights, you're doing whatever, you need to define what it means to be done for you, and you need to get there relentlessly.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
you don't need to put a number on it. You don't need to put any exterior pressure. This is about you completing the task that you've given yourself, because that is fulfillment and what so many people lack in this world. So it'd been 2 years since I released any music.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just because there was some members of my team that I need to kind of clear things out, and I need
regroup, reform.
Exactly, and I needed time for that. So you step up to bat and you're like, okay, I feel done with this song. I've given it everything, and I'm happy with it. And I'm happy with that I'd ever been with anything.
That finish that
exactly.
we're talking about, yeah.
It was truly done. And you put it out, and the first comment on YouTube is just shitting on you, this guy that lives in Indonesia. And I told a friend, and they were like, dude, that's awesome.
No, that's
and I was like, no, for the love of God. You know, like it broke my heart, and it was such a kick in the dick. But you need it.
Yeah.
You really do.
I told people, like, as soon as I start getting like hateful comments, I'm going to start charging.
Yeah.
That's when I'm going to start charging money. It's because, hey, people don't like me, man.
Totally. Someone told me my song was annoying. I was like, it sounds like my song's too catchy for you to forget about. You know, like, and I don't give a shit at that point.
Dude,
like, you told me what I needed.
Yes.
It's an earworm. I'm happy.
I made that point too, man, with Steve Mages. You know Steve?
Yeah.
He does pop country music. That's not my genre of music. But I told him, I'm like, dude, I catch myself singing your fucking song by instance, you know?
Yeah, man. And just, even if you don't like it, if it made its way in there, it's like, okay, you're onto something.
You're onto something. You're doing the right thing. So Matt, to close this out, you just got done making a video.
Yes.
So that's gonna be coming out at some point. I don't know if this podcast will be out by then or not.
Yeah.
But for that colorful song we were talking about, I wanted to show a music video that you did a little while back. So I got this video pulled up, Cooking Me Up. And dude, you hit your mark on your style and tenacity, dude. Like, you're at a food joint, a fried chicken joint, right?
Yeah, so that's,
dude.
Cincinnati has probably 5 or 6 of these. It's Richie's Fried Chicken.
Richie's Fried Chicken, okay.
I don't know which one's the original location, but this is the one on Lynn Street. So that's downtown, near like West End. And I'd written this song pretty quickly in the studio with the band. But I'd been, every once in a while, like I went to Xavier, so I'm right by the Clifton location of this, and every time me and my boys are, finished up for the night and everyone's a little toasty, it's like, let's go get some fried chicken, man. So we go down to Richie's, and when I was talking to my producer for this song about it, I was like, I want to shoot the video at Richie's, and he was gung-ho about it. He said, we'll make this happen. Dude. So I asked him if we could do it, and they said, only if we can stay open. And I was like, what? All right. So everyone that's in this video is at work or came there to get chicken. Okay.
No
aside
way,
from the band,
dude.
And it was one of the weirdest days of my life, man. I had such a good time.
One of the best days, it sounds like. Dude, that's so cool and genuine. I love that, dude.
Yeah, man. You can try to plan things in life.
Like they're working. You go there when they're working already. You know them most likely most of the time.
It's 10:30 a.m.
You got your kick-ass camera guy just there catching very cool real moments, man.
And
you don't get that in music videos very often because we make fake shit all the time, man. And it's hard to catch something super genuine. I mean, you can make it up, but to catch something like this and it look this good, man, feel this good. Yeah, awesome.
I was thrilled with how it came out, and I got to give a lot of love to Simeon Collins of River Sky Films, he's the director I go to for all my videos. Okay. He does most of the shooting. He is an amazing editor of this stuff, and he has a wonderful vision of how he captures moments.
Yeah.
But when you surround yourself with people that are committed to one thing and one thing only, getting the job done, you end up with something like this, where you didn't have to fight it on the back end. We got it done there, and we had a good-ass time. This is a dance team,
man. Wow.
For sure. They have a studio up the street from here, and the producer for this song had gone up there and was like, y'all want to come dance in a video? They had just gotten brand new uniforms for a show they had that night. So they're like, we'll put on the new uniforms. Our routine lines up to your song.
Wow.
They came down, knocked it out. None of that's planned. It works out so well.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously, I really enjoyed that.
Thanks,
I'd
man.
seen it. I watched a little bit of it. Like I didn't watch the whole thing. I'm like, oh, that's the one I'm gonna show.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really cool. Like it feels like really cool, genuine vibe. And for you to tell me that story, just makes it that much more better, dude. Like that's cool. It fits right into your personality and what you're doing with your art, man. It's
thank you,
very
man.
fucking cool.
And same to you. It's like the only thing we can do in this is stay hungry and work together.
100%.
And the moment that you're too hungry to work with other people, check yourself out, reform that shit, because you've gotten too far down the trenches in your own mind.
Fucking woosah, dude.
Yeah, man.
It happens to everybody. We all get that headspace, man, at some point.
Totally.
And it's accidental a lot of times. It can be forced a lot of times. But
it's a survival mechanism.
Refine yourself. Yeah, just refine yourself. Meditate, maybe.
Man.
Find that headspace that you need to continue to be successful within the frame of you and your peers.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think this city and many others just like us are finding themselves with a new willingness to be themselves and to step up to fucking Batman.
Dude, dead ass. This is a part of it. Nick and Mike's podcast.
Totally.
Sandwich Jones is constantly working.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Sunday Drive. Shout out to Josh Netley. Jimmy
Netley.
Fucking Klepper,
Dude,
my man.
Everybody. I've had all these people except for Adam. I'm getting you.
Adam, get your ass in here. I'm smelling for it. And also, dude, Noah Smith is one of those guys.
I need to get him in here too. I talked to him about it. I definitely like him and his vibe. I like that he's trying to like teach people how to manage themselves, man.
And that's a difficult place to come to. It's like the moment you start to monetize, you have to assess the value of what you're doing. But he's trying to make it affordable for people to find real coaching from a seasoned veteran. Like that's if
who's a genuine dude. Like you can see him at a concert and talk to him and have a conversation with him. Just like he's not this weird like entity.
He's not a distant figure in the slightest. No. And if there's a godfather of this current scene right now, consider it that guy.
Yeah.
Who has decided that he's not going to be in Nashville. He's not going to be in New York. He's not going to be in LA. And to be in the same way that Adam is, like, if you're a family man, if you're good to your friends, if you're a quality human being, and you make kick-ass art, like, dude, we got it going here, man.
That's what you look up to, man. That's the things to look up to is those kind of people, man. 100%.
Brother, I've had a great time talking to you.
Dude, me too, man. Thank you so much for coming out, man. Yes, dude. You were awesome. Baby. You were a very genuine, high energy person, and I enjoyed having you on this podcast.
I have a good fucking time doing it, man.
Thank you so much, Matt. This has been Talking to You. Thanks for watching.
Tune in, hit that subscribe button, baby. Hit that shit.